Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another car conversation. Welcome back to Make America Think Again. If you can just hear my voice out there on the airwaves, welcome back. As always, I got my handles down here for Instagram. Facebook is the same, Shaunavonn, VONN, dog barking. And then you also have here I put my Cash App here, $1111 Oracle. If you want to bless a sister, bless a sister, bless the channel, actually, bless the channel. I appreciate you in advance. Thank you for everyone who has dropped a little blessing. And again, $5, $10, whatever it is, to keep the channel going. I want to incorporate some new things, and I need some funds to do that. So here's what I wanted to talk about in this episode. What should we be doing right now? What should you be doing right now to prepare yourself for what seems inevitable? I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look like, but it doesn't seem like unless we all come together, unless we the people all come together and make some things happen, I think things are going to get worse before they get a little better. Okay, so I do want to throw this out there though. No, I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that thought. So let's talk about what you need to get together. And then in the comments, share what you have done to prepare too, because we need to be exchanging this information. It's important that we share this information with one another so we can all be prepared. Passport. If you have a passport, make sure it's updated. If you don't have a passport, I would highly encourage you to get a passport now, especially while at least that department is still funded and you can get a passport. Yeah, I'd advise you to do that now. If you have never had one, you should, because travel is good. So whether or not you have to use it you have it to use for pleasure, or you need to use it to flee, you have your passport handy. So there's that. All your personal documents, gather them, get them in one place. Things, an area where you can just grab one case, one file, and go. Birth certificates, passport again, social security cards, like all your personal documents that you might need for verification, ID, like all those things. For all your family members, get them together and have them handy in one location, where you can just grab it and go, where you can quickly get to it and quickly go. So your personal documents, your passport, if you don't have one, make sure that you get one of those. Y'all know how I feel about guns. However, the more things go south, I am warming up to them, unfortunately. And as long as, I don't think anybody under 25 should have a gun. I do not. I will never believe that. Coming from a psychology background, the way the brain works, that will never change. However, having some sort of protection for yourself, as long as you're responsible, as long as, responsible gun ownership is what I'm talking about. I'm warming up to it. So I'm just saying, maybe that's something you might want to put on your list. Supply of food, supply of non-perishables, water, cases of water, like things, items that you can use over a period of time if you had to hunker down in your home. Um, think of it that way. Canned goods, non-perishables, cases of water. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Um, cash. Cash. I don't know how many of you saw or watched, and if you have not watched, please do it. I've been saying this for at least as long as I've had this, those out there that can hear me, because I started with the podcast, Make America Think Again first. Y'all know I've been pushing The Handmaid's Tale for at least a good 3 years now, because I watched it. Well, we're in year 5. Oh my gosh, was it that long ago? I started watching The Handmaid's Tale over during COVID. So watch The Handmaid's Tale. So much of what's happening now, watch it. Also, the new season, and I'm hoping it'll be the last, and I'm hoping it'll be the last in a successful season for the main characters. But it starts in April. So this would be a good time for you to binge the previous seasons and be ready for April. But for those of you that did watch the show, if you remember in one of the, I know it was in season 1, when they shut down, when they closed, when the government is the day that I'm talking about, when the government closed accounts, women's accounts, so women could not access their funds. And then women had to go back to how it was prior to what, 1970s, when they had to ask their husbands for, like, they had to have a joint account. Not, they couldn't even be on the account. They had to ask their husbands for money. So they had to, the husband could only go to the bank. And this is on The Handmaid's Tale, could only go to the bank to get funds out. Like, they couldn't go and access their funds, their money, even though they were working, even though they contributed to the accounts. So I'm telling you, just watch The Handmaid's Tale. But that's why I'm here on the cash stash. Have you a family cash stash? And ladies and gents, I'm just going to say ladies and gents, if you have any concerns about your partners, okay. All right. So the stash of cash, might want to get it safe in your house. Go bag. We're accustomed to having a go bag here in California because of the earthquakes. Like, we got to go bag. Something you can grab if you got to be in a shelter a couple of days or whatever. Get your go bag. Put these vital items in it, the personal information, couple of days of change of clothes, that sort of thing. Get you a go bag together. Get that ready. Also, solar chargers. So you're going to need to charge phones. You're going to need to, I'm not going to promote Amazon right now. So go to any other dealer that you know that that has these solar chargers. You can charge it by the sun, and you can charge your phone wherever you are. Get you one of those on my list. I'm just sharing what's on my list. And I want you to put in the comments what you've already done, what you have in your list. Also, this is very important, especially because I don't know what this last one is I wrote down here. Oh, especially because of all of the things that we don't know that Doge and the Ninja Turtles have access to. So this is very, very important. Find out and print out or save a document that how much Social Security that you have accrued. You can go on the website, you can open you an account if you haven't already, and you can research that information. How much Social Security you are owed. Print that out, have that document, put it in with all your personal documents. So you have record of that. In the event in the unfortunate event that all this shit has to be rebuilt, you will have that information. Do the same thing with your retirement. Find out exactly how much retirement you are owed from wherever that you have worked, and make sure that you have that document. And of course, will and insurance, life insurance, all that kind of stuff, all that, get all those documents together. And then the last thing I would say, but specifically on the Social Security and retirement stuff, make sure that you have exactly documented on this day, March 11th, 2025, so-and-so was owed, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so make sure you have that documented. Okay, and then the last thing I want to say is well, you talked about the banking, but on another note, in regards to the banking, I was watching this video, and this this content creator, she suggested, as a form of protest, what if we all removed all of our money from national banks? What if we all did that on the same day at the same time? And it would just like be a jolt to the system. And I thought, oh my God. Because y'all know I've talked about the labor protests on top of these economic protests. And now a banking protest, and if we could layer that and do that at the same time, do you know these people that it would flip their wigs. Like they wouldn't know what the fuck to do. They would actually feel like us. Because literally every day it feels like I'm playing a game of whack-a-mole. Like they're doing this over here, they're doing that over there, they're doing this over here. That's what we need to be doing. That's what we need to collectively be doing, to throw them off like, oh, what's happening? We just thought they were going to protest in the streets, and we can ignore that because that's all they're expecting. They weren't expecting these economic boycotts to contribute to this failing, this economy that is crashing. They weren't expecting that. They weren't expecting us to target certain companies, to boycott. They were not expecting that. They're definitely not expecting everybody to withdraw their money all at one time. And if we all said, like, if it was, I don't know, come up with a code word, like lights out, sit out, or I don't know, we could say zucchini. And everybody get the text zucchini, and then you just walk off the job. You just leave. Everybody just leaves. And then we out for a week. They'd be like, their heads would be spinning. They wouldn't know what the fuck is happening. That's the kind of shit we need to organize and do. That's what we need to do. So anyway, she brought up this in regards to banking, and she made the point about taking all of our funds out of, national federal banks, and just using like credit unions or black owned banks. And I was like, that's another layer that sounds good to me. So we need to have some conversations about this, because that's another layer to the boycotts that we could add. And I'm telling you, we have to fight fire with fire, or else all this other stuff that I just talked about is going to be necessary. It's going to be necessary, and we don't want it to be necessary. The whole normal that we had before COVID, that's gone. That's gone. We just want stability at this point. We just trying to have stability. Yes, I want to thrive. I want to get there. I'm thriving. But right now, with this crazy administration, we just want stability, and we got to demand that stability. We the people got to say, hey, look, you work for us. You're not driving us crazy. You work for us, because let me tell you something. Not only will taking healthcare away from people kill people, some people will die, but the stress of all this, everything that's happening, everything that's going on a day-to-day basis, it takes a toll on you physically if you don't know how to manage it. So you might have the health insurance. You might have great health insurance. Medicaid is not a concern for you. But all this stress that's being caused by these people in DC, it can still take you out. So these are some of the things that I have been putting in place, and I wanted to share with you. And I encourage you to share in the comments what you're doing, things that you're getting in place, putting in place, other means of communication, off of social media. That needs a thing, that needs to be a thing that needs to be built, with the sane Americans that we have, even with your family members, in case people get, I don't know, separated or something. We need to have ways to communicate. Get your code word. I don't know. Like, it's time to start thinking about desperate times call for desperate measures. That's all I'm saying. So we got to be prepared. Just, I'd rather be over prepared versus not prepared at all. Right? Come on.